This episode of Locked On Buffs is brought to you by our sponsors over at Rougian. Let's talk about something most men don't bring up but absolutely should. Stress from work, money, life. It doesn't just switch off at night. And when it shows up at the worst possible time, Rougian Ready is designed to help you take back control. Rougian Ready is a next-generation prescription treatment created to support both the brain and the body so you can feel present, confident, and ready when the moment matters. Rougian Ready combines 3 clinically proven ingredients and 1 mint that dissolves under your tongue so it absorbs fast. It's easy to understand why over 150,000 men have already made the switch. If you've been thinking about taking the next step, now's the time. Head to Rougiet.com/LockedOnCollege. That's RUGIET.com/LockedOnCollege to get 15% off your order for a limited time. Rougiet Ready. Feel present, feel confident, feel ready. Welcome back to Locked On Buffs. We are also doing this really cool thing called the Everydayer Club. And I think if you love Locked On Buffs, if you love tuning in every single day and getting the latest on your Buffs, we have some cool interviews coming up with some transfers that are joining the program. And you want to listen to the show ad-free. Well, if you join the Everydayer Club, you get to do just that. Let me tell you more information. You get ad-free audio for Locked On Buffs. And an invite to the members only Locked On Everydayer Club Discord server, which includes a group chat just for listeners of the show. If you want to sign up, go to LockedOnBuffs.supercast.com or the links below for more information. Welcome back to Locked On Buffs. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, making me your first listen of the day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow so you don't miss out on a moment of the coverage. Let's talk portal news. The Buffs are active. They are quite active, and quite frankly, I'm loving every second of it because it gives me a lot to talk about, of course, so that's cool. But there's a world where the Buffs could put together one of the best classes in college football. They have the number 17 class in the country. The headliner of their class is Liona Lefau from Texas. He's ranked, first of all, it's not often that Colorado shoves a program like BYU in the locker as of late. They shoved him in the locker, poured some milk in it, and said, you know what, take this and you know what. 7th best linebacker in the portal, 109th player overall, ranked as a 90 overall transfer according to 24/7 Sports. So huge addition there, but they're not done. They have a lot more to bring in. And so let's discuss who and what is happening next. Let's start off with, and I apologize in advance. I looked up how to say it, and I'm even less confident than I originally was. Vili Tafa-Tofua, I believe is how you say it. Or Tafa-Tuafua. Probably not. I'm going to call him Vili T because I'm butchering the heck out of his name. I had it practiced. Tough name for me to say. I apologize. San Jose State edge transfer. 34 total tackles on the season, 7 tackles for a loss, 4 sacks. He was an all Mountain West honorable mention, and he had a 71.7 pass rush grade. And quite frankly, Colorado needs more pass rushers. They need guys who can get to the quarterback. They need a guy who can, you look at what Colorado struggled with this past year. It was pressuring the quarterback. They went from leading the Big 12 in sacks the year before to, they couldn't even give the quarterback a high five if they wanted to this past season. They were not locked in at all. He is a junior from New Zealand, 6'3", 260, brings good size, good experience, absolutely chiseled, mind you. I think this is the Coach Pecco connection as well. I think he'd be a great addition for the pass rush. Colorado needs to bolster their pass rush. They've been going all in on defense linemen, linebackers, and now I think it's time they start going after these edge rushers even harder. Racing Delgado is the next guy. Cal Poly center, which to me, obviously this could be a depth play, but it also to me indicates like, hey, we're not sure on the status of Zaire McGill, right? And I think Trinidad Chambliss, the Ole Miss quarterback who, was trying to come back for a 6th year, start his career at Ferris State. He got his waiver declined. So I think for the guys who are trying to get that extra year, I think there's going to be a lot of no's flying around. And I'm not for sure on Zaire McGill, but I do think like, hey, Colorado's planning around it. So he had a 79.9 pass blocking grade, which Zarian's was in the 80s, but this is still impressive. He has programs like Michigan and A bunch of other huge schools coming after him. So would be a good get for Colorado. And then another name that's probably going to give me trouble, USC linebacker transfer, former 4-star recruit, Matai Tagovailoa, I believe is how you say it. Probably pronounced that wrong. Apologies. 4 total tackles on the season. He's got good height. He's got a good frame, a little bit undersized. I think they weighed him in at 205. Would like to see him get a little bit bigger, right? Because, I mean, obviously you can't necessarily be, I guess, a gap-to-gap linebacker, if you will, if you don't have the adequate size. Now, he's posted videos of him playing because I think it was Florida State fans were giving him a lot of you-know-what for his size, and he's listed at 6'4", 205. So great frame. You get him in the weight room with Swayze, and I'm sure he could be up to 215, 220 in no time. But the dude has a high motor, hard hitter, runs downhill. I liked what I saw from him in his practice clips. Obviously, would like to see a little bit more of him, and we'll see how that progresses. But he visited Colorado, so did Billy T, and then Racing is a recent offer. So Colorado's still making moves. I'll keep you guys updated on those. Boo Carter. I mean, if there's a player in college football that has flirted with a program more than Boo Carter has flirted with Colorado, I think this is technically like the third or fourth time that, like, third or fourth separate sequence of Boo Carter possibly being in the mix for Colorado. It seems like it's between them and Vanderbilt. That's the latest I have. Boo Carter has a previous relationship with Colorado. I don't know if he still wants to play both ways, but I think Colorado would be one of the few programs that would let him. They obviously have a success. He's a great safety, skilled return man, and Coach Prime is always talking about how he wants guys to make an impact in the return game. So I think Boo Carter would be a good fit. Now, whether or not it's wants to stay close to home thing, which Vanderbilt would have the edge over, or a money thing, which I feel like Colorado and Vandy are probably relatively close. So it just depends on which program is able to sell their role or sell the vision for him better. And if I'm Colorado, I'm selling him as a two-way player. I think that's what he's always wanted, and we'll see if that comes to fruition. Rasheem Biles, number 1 linebacker in the portal. I think we could go ahead and say that his at least right now, from what I'm gathering, he's not going to end up at Colorado. Number 1 linebacker in the portal. He's been interesting, I guess you could say. He had visits to Ohio State, Miami, Florida State planned, didn't show up to any of them. Visited Michigan, visited Colorado. So they got him on campus, which was a huge thing. But in the transfer portal, it really seems like if you don't get a guy to commit right after they visit, like, it didn't work out. And I know it's true that guys are being paid to visit schools, but I do think right now Texas has the inside track. He's visiting. I think by the time a lot of you are listening or watching this, he's in Austin. So it's going to be one of those things where it's like, is Colorado able to sell more than Texas and Michigan? I don't know. I don't know what he's looking for. Is he looking for the highest bidder? The Athletic says that high tier linebackers are going for like $500K. So is someone willing to offer him more than that, or somewhere around that margin? Is he looking for more? Who knows? But right now, I would say I'm sort of leaning towards Rasheem Biles not being in Boulder next season. We have a couple of departing Buffs who found a new home. DJ McKinney is one of them. He's going to Notre Dame, which, I mean, good for him, quite frankly. I was really hoping that DJ McKinney, I was hoping he'd work out in Boulder. I saw the vision. It was him and Travis, Batman and Robin. Then he takes over in that Batman role and sort of mentors like an ongoing cycle of like really good corners. And not sure what happened, but he regressed a lot. A lot of penalties this year. A lot of questions about how much he wanted to be there, how much he cared to be there. He held out for more money. Colorado paid him. Kind of quit on the team at the end of the year. Obviously, he was injured, but that's what was said, was he was injured. But I think there's a little more that meets the eye there. Didn't really. I think the best way to describe the DJ McKinney experience is talented player, and he did not have the season that Colorado needed or hoped for. And then Tafiq Thomas, he's going to Georgia Tech. Didn't see a lot of him. Warren Sapp seemed to love him. He was a rotational guy for Colorado. Clearly Georgia Tech saw something in him, and I think a lot of the notable transfers that Colorado's had have gone to P4 programs, right? You got Tafiq Byard and Brandon Davis-Swain go to Texas A&M. So it's interesting to see where these guys are ending up, which indicates that there was a coaching problem at some of these position groups, which doesn't shock me. These are some of the positions where I was like, hey, you need to make a change. That being said, we'll see how that goes. So either way, Colorado's making moves. They have some guys exiting the program, as everyone else does. Nothing too crazy as of right now. I will keep you guys updated along the way. We're going to take one more quick break, and then I'm going to highlight the portal once for the. But also, wait, DeAndre Moore taking a visit to Ole Miss. I think Colorado's wide receiver room is filled up a little bit. I don't think there's room for one more. I'd be shocked if he came to Colorado, and if he does, expect to lose one of the transfers that they just got. That's what I would say about DeAndre Moore. I think him coming. I think the room's a little crowded right now, and I think he's going to end up elsewhere, as if I had to guess. So we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to tell you about some portal wants that Colorado fans should have for the Buffs moving forward. This episode of Locked On Buffs is brought to you by FanDuel. The college football playoff is here, and FanDuel is giving all customers even more ways to get in on the action every single game day of the playoffs. Because right now, every college football playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost waiting for them in the app. Here's what I love about it. You get to use the profit boost on the bets you already feel good about. So take a shot on the underdog if you feel an upset coming, or you can build a parlay around the players and moments you think will decide the games. Then you apply the profit boost and go after even bigger winnings. And when you win, FanDuel pays out instantly, which is perfect for playoff football. FanDuel is the best place to get in on the action all playoff long. So visit FanDuel.com to get your college football playoff profit boosts every game. Welcome back to Locked On Buffs. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. We're over 8,000 subscribers. Greatly appreciate it. And the show would not be possible without you guys. Would love to get to 10 really soon. Hopefully could continue to grow this number up. We're going to have multiple players who have committed to Colorado via the transfer portal on the show in the next week or so. So I'm excited about that. And we're going to have some cool guests along the way. So don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Now let's go to portal wants or needs, I guess you could call them. I would like Colorado to get a big name running back in the portal. When I say big name, it doesn't have to be like CJ Baxter. I think he's an Indiana guy, but you really need depth at running back. I don't think Simeon Price is going to get an extra year just based off of how this stuff has been going. We'll see, but I don't know if I'm confident enough in Colorado's running back room right now. I think one more body, a productive one at that, could be a good addition, right? You have DeKalen Taylor, who's a speedy guy, but he was injured. You have Michael Welch, who is productive, and I think he'll thrive in the go-go offense, injury prone, right? And then you bring in Darrell Henderson, the second, and Jaquel Smith from Sac State, and it's like those guys are both good. Are they the guys that we could count on to tote the rock 20 plus times a game for Colorado? I don't know. That's up to Brendan Marion to decide. I'm fully confident that he is capable of finding the right running back for his system. And if he thinks he has him, then albeit okay. But I think Colorado needs another running back. Let's go corners. I think they've done a good job of adding quality corners. Cree Thomas, Justin Eaglin, like him. That being said, the corner room was very thin this past year. And excuse me, I think Colorado would benefit from having more than enough corners rather than just being like, okay, we have our two guys and the rest are depth. Like, I don't even know if they have a lot of depth at the corner position. So I would go running back, corner. I think a safety would be good. I like Nathan Mitchell. I just don't like who Colorado has at the other spots. I don't think that they're starting caliber players in the Big 12. I think more pass rushers would be good. A couple offensive linemen here or there, and you need a backup quarterback or a third string quarterback. I don't think the quarterback room is solidified just yet. So I think Colorado has some work to be done in the portal. Obviously, they're still making moves, and I fully expect them to continue to bolster this roster. I've been quite impressed with what Deion Sanders has done. That being said, I think they're far from done. So I'll keep you guys updated every step of the way. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on Monday. Hope all of you have a great weekend. This has been Locked On Buffs.